Take any shirt off a rack. Fold it 30 times. Fire a 9mm round at 400 meters per second. The bullet punches through every layer like they are not there. Now take a single sheet of Kevlar, 1 millimeter thick, golden and flexible enough to drape over your arm. Fire the same round. It stops dead. The fabric is not even torn. The difference is not thickness, not weight. It is molecular structure, discovered by accident in 1965 when a chemist tried to spin a liquid her colleagues wanted to throw away. How does woven cloth catch a bullet? And why is no vest actually bulletproof? In 1964, DuPont assigned chemist Stephanie Kwolek to find lightweight fibers strong enough to replace steel in tires. The company anticipated a gasoline shortage and needed lighter cars. Kwolek worked in Wilmington, Delaware, dissolving polymers into liquids, then spinning them into fibers through a machine called a spinneret. Most polymer solutions behaved like molasses, thick, clear, viscous. But one batch of aromatic polyamide dissolved into something nobody had seen. It poured like water, cloudy and opaque. Every instinct said discard it. Cloudy meant contaminated. Thin meant weak. Kwolek disagreed. She asked the lab technician, Charles Smullen, to spin it. He refused. The cloudy liquid would clog the spinneret holes and ruin his equipment. She insisted for days. He finally agreed. The fiber came out clean. Kwolek tried to break it by hand. She could not. The test results were unlike anything DuPont had recorded, stiffer and stronger than any synthetic material ever measured. What she had created was the first liquid crystalline polymer. Rod-shaped molecules lined up in perfect parallel, like logs floating in a river. That alignment gave the fiber its impossible strength. DuPont named it Kevlar and brought it to market in 1971. Kevlar production begins with two monomers, paraphenylenediamine and terephthalonyl chloride. In a condensation reaction at low temperature, they bond into long chains of polyparaphenylene terephthalamide. The resulting polymer cannot be melted. It decomposes before it liquefies. So it must be dissolved. The solvent is concentrated sulfuric acid. The acid forces rigid polymer chains into a liquid crystalline state, where rod-shaped molecules align spontaneously, like compass needles pointing the same direction. This alignment is what gives Kevlar its strength. Without it, the fiber would be ordinary. The solution is forced through a spinneret, a steel plate with hundreds of tiny holes, each smaller than a needle tip. As the liquid jets emerge, they pass through an air gap, then plunge into a cold water bath. The acid washes away. The polymer solidifies into golden yellow filaments with a tensile strength of 3,000 megapascals, 5 times stronger than steel by weight. Filaments are wound onto spools, dried, and sent to throwsters, specialists who twist the yarn to increase handling strength. The twisted yarn is then woven in a plain tabby pattern, the simplest over-under interlace. This is deliberate. The tight flat weave maximizes surface contact with an incoming round. To build a vest, workers stack 20 to 30 layers of Kevlar cloth into a torso-shaped panel. Layers are sewn together with Kevlar thread and oriented in crossing directions so fibers catch energy from any angle. When a bullet strikes, the outermost layer absorbs the initial shock. Fibers at the impact point stretch, pulling neighbors along. Energy radiates outward like ripples in a pool. The bullet deforms, flattening, mushrooming, spreading force across an area dozens of times wider than its nose. The next layer catches remaining energy. And the next. By layer 20 or 25, the round has stopped, embedded in fabric, energy fully dispersed. But a stopped bullet still transfers all of its energy into the body behind the vest. Bruised organs, cracked ribs, internal bleeding is possible. The vest does not erase the force. It spreads it wide enough that the damage is survivable instead of fatal. The scale of what one cloudy liquid created is staggering. By 2014, DuPont had sold over 1 million Kevlar vests. Officers wearing them are 76% less likely to die when shot in the torso. The body armor market hit $2.7 billion in 2024, projected to pass $5 billion by 2033. Kevlar did not stay in vests. It reinforces racing yachts and military helicopters. It lines fiber optic cables under oceans. It replaced asbestos in brake pads. Tires, ropes, bridge cables, spacecraft shells. Over 200 applications from a liquid that looked like failure. Here is where the story flips. Quolec never profited from Kevlar. She signed the patent rights to DuPont, standard for company researchers. The fiber generated billions. She received awards, the National Medal of Technology, induction into the Inventors Hall of Fame as only the fourth woman among 113 members. But no royalties, no equity, no percentage. She spent her retirement mentoring young women in chemistry and tutoring high school students. She died in 2014, the same day DuPont announced the millionth vest. So why is no vest actually bulletproof? The bullet still hits with enough force to crack ribs. Kevlar does not erase that energy. It catches it, stretches it, spreads it across 30 layers until no single point takes the full impact. The wearer survives. The bruise proves how close it was. That is the honest truth about protection. It was never about invincibility. It was about a chance. A woman who loved fabric created the strongest fabric on Earth. A temporary employee made the most permanent discovery in the company's history. A cloudy liquid everyone wanted to discard became the barrier between a bullet and a beating heart. She signed away the patent, never took a royalty, spent retirement tutoring high school students in chemistry. Quolec never promised to stop the bullet from hurting. She gave people a chance to walk away. That was always enough. Fabric that stops a bullet, not by being harder, by catching, stretching, spreading. 30 layers of a liquid nobody wanted. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.